Hi everyone, welcome to a new tutorial. Thanks for joining me today. So today I'm going to show you the real-time process of drawing the arm of a red-eyed tree frog. So I'm going to show you how to mix the colors and draw the textures in colored pencil. So if you want to follow along with the complete project, you can do that over on my website in the Drawing Club membership. And if you have any questions, let me know below. So I hope you'll enjoy this little real-time tutorial and I'll see you back at the end. Alright, so let's get going with the arms now, which will be really fun to draw. So we have some very bright highlights on the fingers and the arms, which we're going to put in with the jelly roll. And also there's a lot of blue and also a little bit of purple violet on the arms, which will be really nice to put in. So I'm going to definitely mix in some blue. Helio blue reddish 151, some of the dark indigo, and then of course we also have the greens that we used for the head. And I also want to mix in some cobalt turquoise 153, so that's a more greenish blue that we can use to make the transition from the blue into the green. Okay. So let's get started actually with blue, with the Helio blue reddish 151. Because right here, you can see a little corner on the inside of the arm, which looks very blue. So let's first recreate that shape a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to fill it in. Fill it in with a nice solid layer. We don't need many layers in this small little area, so I'm going to fill that up right away. And then let's add some shadow right on the edge of the arm with the dark indigo 157. Soften up this black, which is in between. Let's add another blue too, Delft blue 141, which is a very different blue from the Helio blue reddish. So the Delft blue is a lot more purplish. You can see it a little bit on camera. The Helio blue reddish has more of a red undertone. I'm going to add this as a shadow tone right here in the corner of the arm. Here at the top where it's dark. Okay, so that's the first step. Now we see a yellow, like roundish shape as well. So let's put that in, keeping the colors nice and bright. So I'm going for cadmium yellow 107. And I am going to recreate the shape that I see. Put in that rounded shape, gives a lot of extra shape to the arm. Doesn't have to be exactly the same as the photo, but I have to be close. Put that in, fill that in. Alright, so before we add any shadows in there, let's also add the green base tone. So for that, I'm going to use the... Oh, actually, I'm going for slightly darker green. Let's go for Permanent Green 266. I do see more of a cool undertone in the green here, so this green will fit well. And fill that in the empty spots. Okay, let's add some shading to the green first. So I'm going to take the Pine Green 267. I'm going to add it mainly here in the corner where there's some shadow, like here at the bottom as well. Okay, and then I also want to add a little bit of shading to the yellow. So I'm going to take a little bit of dark chrome yellow 109. Add it to the edges, so the transition from the yellow into the green. Also the bit that's right next to the blue. We might even need a little bit of red violet 194 just to darken up this shadow here. So that's it. That's the first little part of the arm. So let's move on to the bottom half of the arm. So we have some green here. Let's start with the green. The green here looks warm again. So I'm going for the May green, and then maybe add a bit of orange on top. So that's number 170. I'm going to do a base layer of the May green. Just a light base layer. All over the midsection of the arm, you can see a very bright highlight on the wrist area. I'm going to work around it because it's large enough to leave open and work around it. We don't need to necessarily fill that in with the jelly roll. I'm also leaving open the bottom edge here because you can see that it looks very orange on the edge. So we have to leave that open so we can add the orange later. Continuing the green on the bottom finger. Alright, so let's add some yellow to that. The cadmium yellow again, 107. Add that on top. Okay, maybe add a little bit more green on top of this. So I'm going to go with the grass green again, 166. Make the green a little bit brighter. I'm not going to worry too much about the skin texture. Okay. Alright, so let's add some shadow along the bottom of the arm. So I'm going to take the chrome oxide green, or maybe let's do the pine green instead, 167. Keep it cool for the shadows for now. Okay, so I'm going to outline the bottom of the arm here, because there's actually some arm you can see right here in between the legs. I'm going to fill that in right away. And I'm also going to add the green right below the brighter greens. But I'm still leaving open a little border at the bottom of the arm. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of dark chrome yellow 109 over the arm again. make the center of the arm a little bit warmer again. And then I'm going to add the same dark chrome yellow on that edge we left open. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is use the same color to do a base on all the fingers. Lighter pressure, because I am going to add some other colors on top of this to create some depth in the toes. Going around that big highlight in the center of the hand. I'm going to ignore the highlights on the fingers. I'm just going to go over them, and those we're going to add with the jelly roll. That will probably look better. Okay, so that's the base, but we have to darken up the color a whole lot. So I'm going to get a darker orange. So let's do dark cadmium orange, add some shading. So that's 115. I'm definitely going to add some of this around the edges of the fingers to create some depth. Some of the rounded shapes. Darken up the thumb. All right, so that brings a lot of shape into the fingers already. Okay, so I do want to brighten up the color a little bit more, so I'm going to take the, let's do the cadmium yellow 107. It's a very bright color. So I'm going to use that to saturate the fingers a little bit more. Not too much. Okay, I'm going for a slightly darker color now. Light cadmium red 117 and darken up in between the toes and the bottom of the toes just a little bit more. All right, so you can still see some of the paper texture through. So now I want to start making sure that the paper texture is all covered. So I'm going back to, a little bit more of the scarlet or the light scarlet red. Okay, going back to the first color, the dark chrome yellow. Now I'm really going to push it into the paper. Okay, so that's better. Okay, I'm going to add some scarlet red on the thumb here as it's more in shadow. So I want to darken up the thumb before we start adding any of the details. Okay, so now let's fill in the rest of the arm too. So we have a little bit of the top side to fill in. So I'm going to take that really nice cobalt turquoise, 153. I'd love to use these colors more often. I don't use them a lot. Let's fill that in lightly. It will match really well with the green as well. And then slowly we have to make that transition into a purple color. Okay, so I'm going to take a purple now. So I'm going to take crimson 134, go over that cobalt turquoise and then take that into the hand. It's a small area, so there's not much room to do all the little details we see here. But we can do just the base of all the colors we can see. I also see a little bit of this color on the hand. A little bit within the highlight right here, just some dots. Okay, a little bit of Delft Blue 141 around the edge of the arm to darken it up. Create more of a separation between the arm and the belly. And then you can see some lines, some little circles. I'm wiggling the pencil around a little bit to get some of that texture in there. but it's very small. Okay, so now I'm going to take black. I see some spots on the thumb, so let's add those. On the fingers I see some little dots. Always brings some extra realism into the drawing, just adding some of these super small little dots and lines. And then I'm taking, oh wait, maybe I need to clean up a little bit more around the highlights. Let's work on the shape with the dark chrome yellow. Make that a bit more natural looking. And then I can take the jelly roll and add in the highlights on the fingers, which is really going to make them pop. Trying to recreate the shapes that I see as much as possible. Alright, so I want to do a little bit more work on the green of the arm. So I'm going back to my pine green. Filling up the tooth of the paper a bit more here. And then we're done with this arm. Not really worrying too much about the skin texture, but I am wiggling the pencil around to create some texture in there. Alright, I'm going over that with just a little bit of the caran-d'Ache to smooth out the arm. Alright, and then I'm going to take a walnut brown and just darken up the bottom of the arm a little bit more. The hand as well. This part here is just very, very dark. Alright, so that's it for this video. This is the scan of the completed drawing. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think of it. And yeah, if you have any questions, as I said, let me know. And I'll maybe see you in the drawing club, where you can find many different color pencil tutorials and pastel tutorials. Have a look at my website if you're interested. And then I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!